Welcome back to the class, children. Now we'll proceed with the next topic that we have, which is weeding. That means removal of weeds. Now here we come across a new term, that is weed. Do we all know what are actually weeds? Children, weeds are any unwanted and uncultivated plant that grows along with the crop plants. अगर आप किसी क्रॉप फील्ड में या फिर किसी खेत में गए हो तो वहाँ पे आपने देखा होगा along with the main crop there are extra plants that grow up. So those unwanted plants or extra crops that grows, they are called as weeds, and the removal of these weeds from a field is called as weeding. Now, why do we actually need to remove these weeds? They are absolutely fine to be growing along with the main crops, right? कि हमें इन्हें रिमूव करने की क्या ज़रूरत है जब क्रॉप्स के साथ तो ये ग्रो ही हो रहे हैं. बट द रीज़न वी गो अहेड एंड वी नीड टू remove these weeds are that's because they compete with the main crops for the sunlight, for the nutrients that they get from the soil and for the water that they are getting from the soil. एक रीजन में एक पर्टिकुलर पीस ऑफ लैंड में लिमिटेड न्यूट्रिएंट्स और वाटर प्रेजेंट होता है, राइट? सो अगर वहाँ पे हमारी मेन क्रॉप है उसे ही सारे न्यूट्रिएंट मिले, दैट वुड बी रियली नाइस फॉर द ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द क्रॉप. However, if the unwanted plants come in and shares the nutrient, तो जो हमारी मेन क्रॉप है उसे न्यूट्रिएंट्स प्रॉपरली नहीं मिलेंगे, राइट? That's why we go ahead and remove these unwanted plants. And how do we go ahead? Okay, before we go ahead and learn the method by which weeds can be removed, let me go ahead and give you two common examples of the weeds. Have you all seen this thing? Maybe nearby a house or a roadside. Yes, these are actually amaranthus, जिसे हम हिंदी में चौलाई भी कहते हैं. This is one of the very common weeds. Then I'm sure you would have seen this as well. This is Chenopodium, which is in Hindi called as batua. Yeah, ये दो very common weeds हैं which grow along with the main crops. Now we will go ahead and study the methods by which the weeds can be removed. There are two ways by which the weeds can be removed. First is manual removal of the weeds. The weeds are removed or pulled by hand or by cutting them close to the ground at intervals. Now, this is done with the help of agricultural implements like a trowel and a harrow. These are the agricultural implements that help to remove the weeds from the crops. Then another method that is being used for the removal of the weeds is use of weedicides. Now, what are weedicides here? Children, the chemicals which are used to destroy or to kill the weeds, they are called as weedicides. Some of the examples of those chemicals are 2,4-D, metachlor, dalapon. These are some commonly used weedicides. So these weedicides are actually very poisonous and we need to take extra care when we spray them. The farmer should cover their nose and mouth with a piece of cloth while they are using these chemicals or weedicides. So that is about weeding. So now we have studied about removal of the extra or unwanted plants from the main cultivated crops. After the crops are grown up, they are being harvested. And yes, that's the next topic that we are going to study. Harvesting is basically a process of cutting and gathering of crops. जब हम हार्वेस्टिंग के बारे में बात करते हैं and when I define the term harvesting, I am sure that reminds you about Baisakhi, Pongal and Holi. These are some of the festivals in India which are actually celebrated when the harvesting of the crops are being done, correct? So how is harvesting being done? Children, harvesting is being done by two methods. One is again by manual and the other one is by machine. Manually, it can be done with a sickle. Sickle, we all know that. If you see in your textbook, page number 12, you have the picture of sickle. इसे हम हिंदी में हसिया भी कहते हैं, right? Then, apart from manual harvesting, the harvesting can be done with a machine called harvester that is attached with the tractor. In case of cereal crops, harvesting is followed by threshing and winnowing so that the grains can be removed from the extra chaff it has. So first we'll study about threshing. Threshing is basically the process of separating grains from the harvested crop. Now threshing can be again done manually or by machine. If you see this picture here we can see that threshing is manually done by striking the harvested crops against a hard surface. Or else harvesting is done using a machine that is called as thresher. Here we can see the thresher, and apart from thresher there is another machine called as combine which is used for harvesting as well as for threshing. So that was about threshing. The next method is winnowing, that is being done after harvesting in case of cereals. So what do we understand by winnowing? Winnowing आप सबने, if you all remember your 6th class separation of substances वाले chapter में आपने ये method पढ़ा है. Yeah, it is the process of separating grains from the chaff with the help of wind. What are actually chaff? Chaff is the material consisting of seed coverings and small stem pieces that have been separated from the grains. Now in this process we all know that the threshed crop is dropped on the ground from a height. The grains or the seeds being heavier, they fall down straight to the floor, and the chaff which is lighter, it gets blown away along with the wind. So that's how the winnowing is being done. Here we can see the picture of winnowing. Now the last step and the most important one is in basic practices of crop production is storage of grains. हमारी जो crop है, it got mature, we did harvesting, threshing and winnowing in case of cereals. Now the harvested crop needs to be stored properly so that it can be sold in the market, correct? Now storage is very important. The crops produced should be stored so that it can be made available in different parts of the country throughout the year. Now how is that done? The storage can be done on a small scale or on a large scale. Now before the storage is being done, the crop needs to have a right amount of moisture content in it, children. Moisture content should be around 14%. So how do the farmers go ahead and reduce the moisture content? They put the crops in the sunlight, and after sunlight they put the crop for some time in the shade, and after that they go ahead and store the crops. Yes, so by taking these precautionary measures, they are actually saving the grains from getting spoiled, as well as they are also saving the grains from the attack of the microbes like fungi and bacteria. Now regarding the storage of the grains, have you all seen your mother storing the grains at home? मम्मी किस में राइस रखती है या wheat रखती है? They could be the metallic containers, right? Or the jute bags. Correct? So that is basically storing the grains at a small scale or for domestic purposes, है ना? So they are in order to avoid the infection or in order to avoid the insects, we put dried neem leaves in the containers so that they can be protected from the insects. On a large scale, the grains are stored in gunny bags or silos or granaries. Yes, large. Have you all heard about silos? Silos are actually metallic containers, large metallic containers जिसमें हम grains को store कर सकते हैं. It could be silos on a large scale, or on a large scale granaries are also used. Yes, so inside silos and granaries, grains are protected from rats and insects through chemical treatment. This is how the storage takes place for the grains. Yes, so these were the all steps involved in the crop production, children, which started with the preparation of soil, then sowing of seeds, application of manure and fertilizers. Then we have studied about irrigation, followed by weeding, harvesting, and storage. These are the steps followed by our hardworking farmers to make us the grains available to us. Apart from the farmers, there are also animals which help us to provide food. Yes, so what are the foods that we get from animals? The foods that we get from animals could be milk, egg, meat, honey, and fish. There are a number of products obtained as food from animals. So animals are also source of food, children. Rearing of these animals on a large scale with proper food, shelter, and care is called as animal husbandry. The term husbandry basically means here to take care of or without doing any kind of wastage. Yeah, so and we go ahead and rear the animals by taking good care of them. Animals are raised in farms. For example, apiculture. Do we all know what is apiculture? Apiculture is large scale rearing of honeybees. And from honeybees, what do we get? There are different products actually. Even from honeybee, which is a very small insect, we get honey from them. We get honey wax from them. There are many medicines that are made out of it. There are many bakery products that use honey. So even a small honeybee is very beneficial. It provides us many form of foods to us. Also, there are fish, which is a large scale source of income for fishermen. Here, the fishes are being reared at large scale, and this method of rearing of fish is called as pisciculture, in which the fish are reared at a large scale. And we all know that fish is also a rich source of vitamin A and D. So from all these studies, we get to know that animals are also another important source of food apart from the crops. So children, in this chapter, we have studied about regarding the basic practices that are followed by farmers to provide us with the grains, cereals, vegetables that we eat on a day-to-day basis. And we understand so much of labor is being put by, or labor and pain that they take to provide us food. Yes, apart from crops, we also get food from animals. So please read through the chapter. It is a chapter that you can actually relate with your day-to-day life. If you have any query, you can WhatsApp me, or we can discuss that in Zoom class. For your better understanding, we are also providing you with the YouTube links. And along with video and YouTube links, I'm providing you with the PDF which has question answers related to the topics taught today. Make a note of those question answers in your science classwork notebook. So children, enjoy e-learning and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.